Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Partnerships for Wildlife Conservation is this year's theme for World Wildlife Conservation Day. Let's do our part to spread awareness about preserving Earth's endangered flora and fauna. Come, we have another stimulating show for you. It begins with the news.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JS News for Monday, December 4, 2023. The police will be going after criminals this Christmas season as the National Security Minister warns those intent on committing crimes that they will be apprehended and face swift consequences for their actions. Dr. Horace Chang gave the warning during a recent function at the Office of the Police Commissioner.
Take note, these men are not afraid, and they're coming out for them. Those who would like to give trouble, they'll find them, they'll bring them in. The criminals must understand we are equipping the police and we're going to take them on and we're going to win and defeat them and get them off the road.
The minister's comments were echoed by Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, who declared that the police would be highly visible throughout the country over the festive season to ensure the safety and security of citizens.
We will be having our robust traffic enforcement team out there. So for persons who are intent on creating mayhem or commit crimes within that season, we just want to remind them that the Jamaica Constabulary Force will be out, and we will be doing everything that we can and we're empowered to do to ensure that citizens who want to go about their businesses on a daily basis, they are able to do so safely.
In the meantime, the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch PSTEB of the Jamaica Constabulary Force has been given 74 brand new motorcycles to expand its mobility. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang handed over the units, valued at approximately $64 million on Friday.
So this morning event is to give the public not only the assurance that we are committed to equipping the police, but that we are giving them some assurance to better public order when they go out there.
Their addition brings the total number of motorcycles under the PSTEB to 435. Minister Chang says it's part of over $300 million spent on motorcycles for the JCF's quick response team since 2018.
And we expect that in due course security will be in all parishes. They're in the critical areas at this point in time. They're in the corporate area, St. Catherine North and South, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, St. James and St. Anne. And we look forward to quickly going to Hanover and St. Mary, and in due course, the entire island.
The Ministry of Health is again urging Jamaicans to take precautions against mosquito bites as the country now confirms over 1,000 dengue fever cases. Up to Thursday, November 30, there were 1,301 confirmed dengue cases in Jamaica. At the same time, there are now a total of 12 dengue-related deaths, 8 classified as suspected and 4 as confirmed. Dengue serotypes 2, 3, and 4 have been identified among the population, but serotype 2 remains the dominant strain. All parishes are observing increased cases, with Kingston and St. Andrew reporting the most. But St. Thomas continues to have the highest infection rate, followed by Portland, Trelawney, and Manchester. The highest number of cases continues to be observed in the 5 to 14-year-old cohort at a rate of 623.1 cases per 100,000 population. While dengue fever is a mosquito-borne disease that is usually mild, persons are reminded that it can progress to severe dengue. Persons experiencing fever, vomiting, severe abdominal pain, bleeding under the skin, feeling very weak, or getting confused are to seek immediate medical attention. For mild dengue, rest and adequate hydration is recommended, with acetaminophen or paracetamol for treatment of the fever. Persons should, however, avoid aspirin, diclofenac, ibuprofen, or any of the medications or pain relievers known as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. These have been known to increase the severity of the disease. To minimize the risk of contracting dengue, members of the public are urged to monitor water storage containers for mosquito breeding, keep their surroundings free of debris, destroy or treat potential mosquito breeding sites, wear protective clothing, and use a DEET-containing mosquito repellent. In other health news, The ministry has conducted over 2,000 health tests benefiting more than 400 residents in and around Junction St. Elizabeth. The event, which was held at Pines Plaza in Junction, included screenings for hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, HIV, syphilis, and body mass index, as well as vision and oral health services, among others. It was the second in a series of major health screenings being staged by the ministry in conjunction with the Southern Regional Health Authority and St. Elizabeth Health Department. The screenings are part of the Know Your Numbers campaign, being implemented to get more Jamaicans to find out their health status and risks to make more informed decisions about their health.
A lot of people are walking around with diabetes. We call it sugar, and they don't know until one day they reach the doctor and the doctor says the kidney not function, or you have poor circulation and you have to cut off the leg or cut off the hand. If they had known the numbers, if they knew that they had high blood pressure, if they knew that they were prone to diabetes, then the doctor could give you medication, change your diet, tell you to exercise, and all of a sudden you'd bring things under control.
The Know Your Numbers campaign is being taken across the island, encouraging all Jamaicans to get screened. Besides this, Jamaicans are being encouraged to do regular health screenings and checkups at least once yearly. And finally, government is continuing its digital transformation with plans to develop a One Jamaica app that will provide a virtual space to access multiple services. Minister with responsibility for skills and digital transformation, Senator Dana Morris-Dixon, says this will allow the different services throughout government to be collated, providing easier access for citizens. She was speaking at the second annual Government of Jamaica Technology Showcase held at the AC Hotel in New Kingston recently.
Everybody's doing a lot of fantastic things, but one of the things with this showcase is it says we need to be a little bit more joined up than we are. We have a lot of standalone apps. Does that make sense? Does it make sense to collapse some of the apps into a Jamaica app, a One Jamaica app where you can do many services with the government? That's the vision, and that's what we'll be working towards through our ICT authority, which is eGov Transformed.
Senator Morris-Dixon says other digital service upgrades will begin soon.
Starting in early 2024, the Jamaica Post will begin the delivery of motor vehicle registration documents across the nook and cranny of Jamaica, so you don't have to stand up and wait. They will deliver it. That's what Jamaica Post is doing, and that will be coming on stream very soon.
Senator Morris-Dixon also welcomed the RGD's pilot rollout of birth certificates in Braille starting this month. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
Are you passionate about shaping the future of governance in Jamaica? Do you want to be part of a historic move to define the roles, responsibilities, and standards of conduct for our parliamentarians? The Joint Select Committee of Parliament, considering job descriptions, codes of conduct, and performance standards for parliamentarians, is having a series of town hall meetings to get your insights on the roles, conduct, and expectations of your elected representatives. Join the virtual town hall on the Zoom platform on Tuesday, December 5 at 6 p.m. You will have the opportunity to share your opinions, engage with members of the committee, and make your voice heard. Visit www.japarliament.gov.jm for further details. Let's work together to build a stronger Jamaica.
Celebrating the Yuletide season is highly anticipated now, and with that comes the need to host family and friends. What better place to do so than in your own home? It might be late for it to happen this year, but with hard work, dedication, and sufficient planning, you could be doing more than considering home ownership next Christmas.
A review of the NHT's loan limit has been undertaken with the intent of improving the affordability to contributors. As a result, the loan limits will be increased to bring the maximum benefit in closer alignment with prevailing market conditions. Effective July 1, 2023, the general loan limit for a single applicant will be increased to $7.5 million.
I feel that they might try to do something for poor people. It not reach 100%, but it's getting there.
That's a good increase because for persons who are struggling like myself, it can find a little bit easier.
They might increase the chance people can get for have a house or can have things, isn't it?
Pedestrians reacting to the news revealed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness in Parliament. As the Prime Minister stated, single applicants will go from $6.5 million to $7.5 million. This means two people may access up to $15 million to purchase a home. It's up to $21 million when three family members pull their resources together.
Home ownership is indeed a big deal, and all our loan offerings are geared towards assisting our contributors in becoming homeowners. And so we have mortgages under two broad categories: homeowners loan and non-homeowners loans.
Under the non-homeowners loan, one can purchase a home on the open market, purchase land to build, or you may access funds to build on land you already own.
So for the build on own land loan, you own the land, as the name suggests. You have a title for the property. Or you may not have a title for the property, but you have what is called undisputed ownership. You have documentation that shows that you are the right owner, you're the legal owner of the property.
For the homeowner's loan, this is where an actual homeowner who has never received an NHD loan can borrow money to renovate their home. For those going the route of buying, bear in mind that once you have decided to purchase land or any property, you need to be pre-approved for a loan.
To get a pre-approval letter, you'd be able to do so by supplying us with a job letter that verifies your income and contributions to the NHD. The TRN, you should have a TRN card, a NIS card, a government issued ID, and your last 2 months' payslips. But if you're self-employed, then you would have to visit our compliance department and request what is called a mortgage memo. This is simply an electronic statement on our system that confirms to the person who will prepare your letter that you are indeed qualified and you have paid all your contributions on time.
So you're ready to buy a property and you're considering an NHD housing scheme. Here's something to consider.
The NHD will, from time to time, offer to its contributors housing solutions for sale. Now, if you want to be qualified for an NHD scheme solution, there are two main things that must be considered. One, where you live and work in proximity to the scheme. That's one. And the number of points you would have accumulated over your work life. So the longer you are contributing, the more points you would have accumulated. And for every 52 weeks that you are a contributor, you are awarded 20 points. So that adds up over time.
If you are considering purchasing NHD housing, be sure to keep up to date with their website for all the relevant information. And when you are ready to purchase, be sure you have all your relevant data on hand.
So you're going to want to have on hand records of your employment issues. So person will say to me, Mrs. Smith, I'm ready to apply for my scheme. And I say, how long have you been contributing? And the answer is enough years. No, you need to know when you worked at a particular company and for how many years. Because when you are doing your online application for scheme, you need to be very specific. You worked at Montego Bay Club 2000 to 2010. You worked at Dundee 1985 to 1990. So you have to be very specific.
And for those people who may want to subdivide land and build with other like-minded individuals,
Cluster housing has been renamed and rebranded, and it is now called Build 9. Okay, so it's no longer cluster, it's Build 9. So what is Build 9? It is a facility where we allow groups of persons to acquire land, and the NHD will assist with subdivision of the land, splintering of the title, and installation of the infrastructure.
the land must be subdivided into a minimum of 3 lots or a maximum of 9, hence the name Build 9.
It's an opportunity for you to create your own community. So you build the community that you want, you design the community you want, you live with people that you can be happy with and comfortable with.
Sounds good, right?
Well, yeah, of course. Ready, sign me up.
Not so fast.
I want to go through some of the things that persons must bear in mind when they're ready to own a home, or they're going to buy land, or you are going to buy a home, or you're going to build on land that you already own. There are some expenses that you must prepare for. And so a sale agreement, you have to pay for that. You have to pay a valuator to do a valuation report. You have to pay a surveyor to do a survey on the property to ensure that there are no breaches or encroachment. So the property is not on your neighbor property, and the house is not too close to the border, those simple things.
In addition, you need to have the attorney fee, which is usually 3% of the sale agreement and sometimes more. For more information, please contact the National Housing Trust at its corporate office, 4 Park Boulevard, Kingston 5, or give them a call at 876-929-6500-9. Happy house hunting!
Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. Mosquitoes will breed in any container that holds water.
Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, barrels, buckets and tanks. If this cannot be done, pour cooking oil on the water surface. Punch holes in all tins, plastics and beverage boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover all tires or fill with dirt to prevent water collection. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs. Use mosquito repellents to protect yourself from mosquito bites. Dispose of garbage properly by placing in plastic bags and securing properly to prevent water collection.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Did you know that watersheds are not only critical to the ecosystem, but they also empower the economy? They do. And that's why protecting the country's watersheds is crucial. Let's find out more in this feature.
An area of land that allows for the drainage of rainwater into a common place like a pond or river is known as a watershed. Now, you may live near a river or drink the water from a bottle, but how much do you know about watersheds and their life-giving role? There are over 100 rivers making up Jamaica's watersheds. These rivers are critical resources to the ecosystem of the land, while empowering our economy. The National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA manages Jamaica's 26 watershed management units WMUs in partnership with key governmental agencies such as the Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA, the Forestry Department, the Water Resources Authority and other partners. There is one major factor to note in the protection of watersheds, and it's the delicate balance of the communities who earn a living from these areas through agriculture.
So we try to take a bottom-up approach to watershed management. Now that will involve liaising with the communities, getting their inputs prior to going into any given watershed with any intervention. You have to do what we consider to be an assessment of the needs of the community, separate and apart from an assessment of the needs of the watershed prior to going in and doing our interventions.
This approach forms part of the integrated watershed and coastal area management model, which takes into consideration the community's views. Under the Watersheds Protection Act of 1963, watershed areas are declared and regulated to conserve the water resources, while allowing residents to gain from popular land economic activities such as farming.
You do have complementary acts that would speak to watershed management. So you have, for example, the RADA Act of 1990 that will allow for the use of extension services, which translate into watershed management as the use of sustainable land management practices with the farmers.
There are 7 other pieces of legislation that support the Major Watersheds Protection Act. Finding the balance between benefiting from the resources in watersheds and preventing its degradation is continuous work by the environmental authorities. In 2015, a $3.9 million Yallah's Hope Watershed Restoration Project was launched as a joint initiative between the government and the Inter-American Development Bank (IDB. The Yallahs and Hope River watershed supply 40% of the drinking water in the densely populated urban parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew.
We would have trained under that project over 5,000 farmers in sustainable land management. And then we would have also did quite a number of studies. We would have done some replanting in the area. We would have replanted over 500 hectares.
A major initiative from the Yalas Hope River Restoration Project was the use of a payment for ecosystem services scheme designed to give an incentive to farmers who rely less on the watersheds.
At the end of that project, we would have, through modeling, showed that we have seen a reduction in about 8% of sediments coming down out of that watershed, and that's a conservative estimate. It goes up to 17% when you factor in the interventions that were done by our partners in these watersheds.
NEPA also established a Yalas and Hope River Watershed Management Committee to ensure that these results continue. Jamaica's international ranking as a strong and actions-based driver of environmental protection is steadily growing. A Jamaican Path from Hills to Ocean project is the latest initiative to restore 3 major watersheds across the island in the next 5 years. The $1.05 billion Jamaican dollar project is a joint partnership between the government and the European Union, executed by the Planning Institute of Jamaica in support of NEPA and RADA.
So the rapid ecological assessment is expected to inform some of the project activities that will help with the RADA-led components in identifying some areas that will be prioritized for intervention, and those priority will be for trainings for farmers and other techniques that would help with the overall watershed management. The Cassiton Botanical Garden is one particular location within one of the watershed management units that would benefit mostly from some of these activities.
Work will also be done on 2 wetland ecosystems, Winds Morass in Trelawney and the Mason River Protected Area on the border of St. Anne and Clarendon.
And those activities would help with the overall preservation and conservation of those 2 wetland areas to stem or kind of address some of the challenges we are currently facing with issues of encroachment or solid waste deposits, and also the general sensitization through the use of signage and public education.
The project will also flow into the protection of Jamaica's marine life.
So the assessment of seagrass, the health and distribution of seagrass beds within the Ocherius Marine Park and the Helsha, Half Moon Bay area will also be assessed, so we can see if the activities implemented over the 5-year period would have helped with the health or the general health of the marine environment in these areas.
Don't waste water. Turn on your tap at half blast. Plant a tree, the more the better. Do not litter. Proper waste disposal prevents your garbage from getting into our rivers and streams. Be environmentally friendly. Get involved and help protect the earth. The work to protect our watersheds aligns with Jamaica's signatory to the Paris Agreement on Climate Change to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Equivalently, our Vision 2030 national plan also prioritizes balancing sustainable use of the environment and reducing poverty. Through climate-smart steps to better use the lands and the hills of our watersheds and reduce the degradation of our coastlines, the value of protecting Jamaica's watersheds today will pay the price for securing the future of the island.
Investing in agriculture is not usually seen as lucrative as buying other stocks and bonds. But let's debunk this notion and show you just how profitable an investment in agriculture can be.
Agriculture is an important economic sector, and investing in it may be a wise financial move that gives investors the chance to diversify their portfolios and earn significant returns. So, if you're looking for investment opportunities, why not consider agriculture?
Jamaica has about 200,000 hectares of land that we consider arable, meaning land that we can farm. We only need to farm about 100,000 of that in order to produce sufficiently all the staples that we need, all the protein that we need, all the vegetables and fruits that we need. Of that 200,000 arable land that we have, currently we are only farming about 31,000 hectares that is irrigated. So the provision of reliable irrigation, water, to those acreages is a big challenge. So we have about 15% of our total arable land irrigated. So if we're serious about expanding agricultural output, investments have to be made in agricultural infrastructure, particularly irrigation. So I'm pleased to say today that we have the Essex Valley and the Southern Plains irrigation projects, which are ongoing. And those two projects will bring about 5,200 hectares of land under irrigation. That will move us up to about 18% of our arable land irrigated.
We're introducing a major project that's coming for Jamaica. It's called the Southern Plain Agricultural Development Project. It involves over 2,000 acres of land that will be available to investors across a wide range of crops. We are actually looking to get more Jamaicans involved into agriculture. Food security is very important, and we're also trying to build our export markets as well. We are seeking investors both locally and overseas to enter into current agricultural production and even larger scale production. We have acreages starting from 5 acres up to as high as 300 acres that we're packaging to have investors engage in a wide range of crops, vegetables, root crops, and orchard crops. A good way to start is reaching out to AgroInvest, whether you reach out on our website. That's a great way to connect with us. From there, we can help you to build a plan around the ideas that you have for getting involved in agriculture. We have a team involved in business development. We have technical persons who are in charge of the agri-parks. And we have a market development team which will be rolling out shortly to provide linkages with persons on the agri-park, with buyers locally and in the export markets. Already we have the agri-parks. The major ones in that area are Amity Hall, Spring Plain, and Ebony Park. This development comprises what we call Ebony 2, which is going to be in St. Catherine, and that will be next to Bridgepen, and there will be Parnassus in Clarendon.
The next one is going to be the Pedro Plains, and that is going to move us steadily towards our goal of irrigating our arable lands.
AgroInvest is making a strong thrust to attract investors to the agriculture sector. And so we're ready to engage persons. We can connect you with financing, we can help you with business planning, and we can help you with technical support to grow your investment in agriculture in Jamaica.
It is proven that agricultural investment is 3 times more effective in increasing the income of the poor. So, invest in agriculture today and make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Thank you for being with us today on Jamaica Magazine. Join us again tomorrow for another interesting journey. Of course, you can visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.